cruelty is MAGA's purpose. World domination is MAGA's purpose. Dominion, power by any means necessary. Authoritarian, fascist. Again, the purpose is cruelty. But Donald has MAGA so twisted in his tangled mind whirly-durly that I'd contend that many of them, MAGA, don't realize that they are being played for suckers. That's the entire point of a con. And Donald excels at lying, cheating, and defrauding anyone that gets too close to his event horizon of diabolical and devilish villainy. At this point, MAGA sycophants are full zombie mode. The only way to destroy zombies is with headshots. These aren't our fellow Americans anymore. They aren't our friends, family, or neighbors. They're wholly baptized into the swamp of derision, hate, bigotry, racism, classism, warmongering, colonization, and greed. And like mindless drones, Donald has them hypnotized into being exactly what he likes.
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
They'll do all the wretched MAGA bidding with zero autonomy, thought, or feeling, and get absolutely nothing out of it. But check out Donald's new shiny Gen Z bots.
Like, what's the problem with xenophobic nationalism? Don't you think that's better for Americans in general?
To be xenophobic nationalism is better?
We should have a coherent culture. Everyone should be a part of the same culture.
Headshots only. There's no reasoning with these zombie Terminators. They even appear to be human. But look at the dude's soulless eyes. Of course, these demons are okay with old people starving to death. Social Security lowered elderly poverty from like 30% to 10%. And they're paying into the system. These young people are paying into the system. So why not benefit from their money? But their MAGA brain chips have been programmed by Donald to bullheadedly deny reality and viciously combat any fact that counteracts MAGA's satanic agenda. A human, an authentic, true, genuine human would have said, oh, Social Security doesn't add anything to the deficit? It's illegal for Social Security to add to the deficit?
Social Security pays for itself. If we do nothing, the 6.2% that your employer and your employee pays into it will pay out 78% of benefits starting in 2033.
But nope, that MAGA humanoid just prattles on recklessly about total demonic nonsense. Oh, don't miss the vapid, void, cocky, and arrogant expressions on the other bots' faces. You can't reason with these people. I've been saying this since 2016. Why are you trying to play footsie with Donald on the debate stage, Hillary, or anybody for that matter, when the man literally has his junk hanging out?
See this guy, I don't know what I said, I don't remember.
You don't play nice with bullies. And the last time I checked, America doesn't negotiate with terrorists. So why is Democratic leadership, namely Hakeem Jeffries, telling the left not to protest during Donald's Nazi nonsense State of the Union address? Fire Hakeem and the 10 Democrats that voted to censor Al Green. Al Green gets it, and despite being told to stand down, he disobeyed that frivolous and flippant directive and fought for America. And yep, he's in his 70s and has a cane. So what, Stephen A. Smith? You concerned with the look of it?
Got a representative like Al Green out of Texas, 77 years old, but looking incredibly immature and undisciplined. And you're going to get up at 77 years of age Why don't you just tell the truth? You didn't feel like sitting there, you couldn't take it.
Oh, really? You want to speak to us about looking silly? How about you talk about capital U.S. and not lowercase us? Talk about the big us, the United States, not the little us's. Don't poke fun at us. Don't hold us to this ridiculous high standard. Don't say that we have to say everything right and practice decorum. Not in the middle of a war against our Constitution, against our freedom, against our country, against our very lives. Once again, we're attacking each other, which plays right into their fascist agenda to divide and conquer.
I tell the Republicans, I said, don't bring that subject up because there's no election right now. But about a week before the election, bring it up because you can't lose.
Why not use your platform, Stephen, to talk about how ridiculous we look aligning ourselves with Russia and all the enemies of democracy, like Netanyahu, like Viktor Orban, like Kim over in North Korea? Huh? Why not talk about how ridiculous capital U.S. looks waging trade wars against China and our biggest ally, Canada? Well, they're not our ally anymore because Donald is about to literally kick off a war with our northern neighbor. And we don't even have to mention the mess that Donald's starting with Mexico. None of that is goofy to you, Stephen A. Smith? None of that? None of that lands on your radar as crazy, as insane, as extremely concerning? Boycott Stephen, just like we did Tesla. And hopefully, he'll have to hold back tears as well.
You giving up your other stuff? I mean, how are you running your other businesses?
With great difficulty. Yeah, I mean...
But there's no turning back, you're saying?
I'm just here trying to make government more efficient.
Elon is a Nazi. His granddaddy was a full-on, full-out Nazi. They named the man after a Nazi character in the story. So, just like the MAGA regime and Donald, Elon is a Nazi. And that's why we don't mess with y'all and Tesla all like that. Because you're a played-out racist robber baron. See, the thing is, we got the next generation full of fascist sycophants. Donald's setting up the chessboard for America to overtake the world, y'all. Donald's also destroying our country to make way for his fascist police state in which Stephen's goofy self won't even have a voice. And here are all the Stephens. Saying, let Massa speak, let him speak, let hear out Massa, let's hear what Massa had to say.
Wouldn't even give Trump a chance to speak. Trump didn't even have an opportunity to pass gas, and this man standing up protesting. Protesting what?
No! Enough! Enough! Let's see what happens. Enough laughing at this dude's harebrained, and I'm talking about Donald, his harebrained ideas like extended term limits, which we all know is going to morph into no term limits. We've already heard everything devilish Donald and his band of demonic robber barons have to say. They are the epitome of evil. So no more letting them rant. We've had enough. Stand up, Al Green. I must apologize for belittling the protest that Dems did during the address. I'll have grace this one time. I don't say that because I'm above anybody. I say that because they've already mortally wounded Lady Liberty, and she's in critical condition. This is not the time for second guessing and second chances. This is headshot time. Come on, AOC and Jasmine Crockett. Headshots, y'all. Get the whack Hakeem Jeffries out of office so we can accomplish what needs to be accomplished. Universal health care, full free college, or at the very least, greatly reduced tuition at least. Paid leave for pregnant parents. Unions across the board. $17 an hour. Living wage with real benefits. With pay increases built into the system. Tim Walz is coming out, y'all.
I don't believe I have all the answers, but I believe there's a whole lot of people that want to express their opinion on what's going on.
A full room at the Pablo Center for Governor Walz's grassroots town hall called The People versus Musk, where Walz is hearing directly from Wisconsin voters.
I understand what I have is I have a platform and a megaphone, and my goal in doing these town halls is I was hearing that primal scream of, God dang it, do something.
Come on then, let's go. The passing lane, heck, the whole entire interstate is wide open. Donald is destroying the economy with tariffs, wrecking the stock market, destroying Medicaid, got Social Security in his devilish sights. Donald's dilapidating checks and balances, killing all of the watchdogs that actually monitor waste, fraud, and abuse, all while injecting copious, overdosing amounts of waste, fraud, and abuse into our government. You're taking $1 billion away from kids? You taking foods out of their mouth? No surprise. They don't care about kids. They care about control. They use religion as a source of control. Demonic spirits have been doing this for centuries, y'all. You look at the Middle Ages, the Catholic Church killing people in the name of Jesus. That's satanic. I mean, you can look at Paul. You can look at the stoning of Stephen. You can look at Jesus Christ. Throughout the ages, Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel over worship. It's the same thing, y'all, today. And it's absolutely satanic. They don't care about God. They don't care about Christianity. If they did, they wouldn't allow kids to get shot in school. I caught my daughter putting Band-Aids into her fanny pack because in her child brain, she said, if an active shooter comes on, I want to have something to mend my wounds. They don't care about us. It's all about control. They want to control the woman's body. Your body, my choice. Had a kid, don't matter. We don't care. We'll let them get shot in schools. We'll take food out of their mouth, $1 billion worth, and all of it so that they can pay for their $4.5 trillion raise. How can I, a nobody, see this and y'all, and I'm talking about Democrats in leadership positions with all of your analysts and research and resources and experience, not see it? I know why. Because of cowards like Hakeem Jeffries. Fire that MAGA sympathizer and get out of your charts with your political formulas and into your dang on hearts. Don't y'all see how Donald won in the first place? He won by talking crazy. So see his crazy and raise it to a whole new level of authenticity, true authenticity, because the thing about Donald is his talking crazy makes it seem like he's honest because he just says it like it is. He's lying every other word. So see his straight speaking. See it, that rawness. But actually, with our policies, we can help people. We have the better politics, but we struggle with people pleasing. So our message is disjointed and comes across as weak. Stop that. Get your metaphoric nuts, screw them on tight, and say what you gotta say with your chest. What are we waiting for? Donald to completely destroy Yemen? How do the Houthis have more courage than us. They are fighting for Gaza and clearly told Donald, stop the genocide, stop starving people, stop fueling Israel to kill all these people in Gaza, and we'll stop attacking American ships. But it comes as no surprise that devilish Donald goes right to the impotent displays of his pathetic MAGA maniac muscles and carpet bombs. Yemen, killing women and children. And did he have a declaration from Congress? Nope. During the campaign, MAGA swore he was the peaceful president. Now, the lying megalomaniac, narcissistic, sociopathic sadist is aiming to transform Gaza into a blooming resort. Annex Canada. Annex Greenland. And he said, yo, Canada, if you don't just want to be a 51st state, we just gonna redraw the lines. Bro, that's war talk. He's essentially gearing up for a new world order in MAGA's image. Again, all while raping America of all of its money. Now, stupid is as stupid does. But I'm not like, you're in the find out phase because we're all connected. It's not fair, but it's true. Here's the kicker with the it's only going to affect them lie. It's a lie. The economy is extremely interconnected, so you can't get rid of the immigrants and not get screwed yourself.
Maybe y'all saw the news out of Nebraska today. Apparently our entire state is going to go bankrupt in 2 quarters. Me and my husband owned a cattle ranch here, and I can confirm that all of the cattle ranchers here overwhelmingly voted for Trump. We support him. We voted for him. Something like 70% of our entire workforce is undocumented immigrants, and they straight up are not showing up for work anymore. They have all either fled the country, fled the state. They don't want to get raided while at work, so they have just moved on to work somewhere else. And straight up, we are going to go bankrupt now. We are going to go bankrupt. And, we voted. We knew that the immigrants would get deported and he was coming after immigrants, yet we still voted for it. Overwhelmingly voted for our own demise. I was talking to my husband last night, and I have to admit that it seems a bit foolish now when you think about it like that we voted for something that is now putting us directly out of business.
And Nebraska can't go bankrupt without it affecting the rest of us. The little us. The us's. The yous, the me's. And the big U.S. The United States. We're all finding out, despite the fact that half of us didn't screw around. We're starting to get the message, though. And I'm seeing cookie cutter MAGA avatars that have been redeemed from Maggotville literally screaming at their MAGA Congress officials.
As a yes or no, do you support Trump on annexing Canada or Greenland? And do you like the way he treats the premier or the president of Canada, calling him governor? Is that the way you do as a diplomat? Is that the way the United States should act to our closest neighbors? You know, is this, and I've still got a little more time. Do you enjoy the way he's tried to extort minerals from the Ukraine? Do you like bullying people that need your help? Do you go for kicking the guy when he's down? Do you support Trump in these things? And this is a yes or no.
They've seen the corruption firsthand, and now that MAGA has full control of our government, they're out there letting them have it firsthand. Again, notice how MAGA is completely against free speech.
MAGA stands for trying to erase trans people from existence. MAGA stands for resegregation and racism. MAGA stands for censorship and book bans. MAGA stands for firing air traffic controllers while planes are crashing. MAGA stands for firing the people overseeing our nuclear arsenal. MAGA stands for firing military veterans and those serving them at the VA, including canceling research on veteran suicide. MAGA stands for cutting funds to education, including for disabled children. MAGA is profoundly corrupt, unmistakably anti-democracy, and most importantly, MAGA is explicitly a Nazi movement. You may have replaced a swastika with a red hat, but that is what it is. I will now engage in the time-honored American tradition of peaceful civil disobedience.
Get out.
Anyone that stands up to them gets beat up, kicked out, or locked up.
That we are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
We're marching headlong into Christian nationalism, into a Christian nationalist police state. And Christian nationalism is satanic as it gets. It's just fascism in disguise. And I'm like David. I get pissed when people misrepresent God because God isn't behind Donald. Satan is. So the way these atypical Donald voters are going after MAGA, those are the kinds of headshots we need. But how is it that Dems are still divided? Tuberville and other MAGA demons trying to give the left credit for the disruption. But don't waste your breath, Tuberville. Don't waste your breath, MAGA maggots. Dems got our heads stuck so far up our yahoos, we can't tell which way is up or down. We need to drop the niche issues that get between us. Kill the stay-at-home vibes and rally together before we lose our country for good. I won't stop saying it. Hitler destroyed the Constitutional Republic of Germany in less than 2 months. And you know what Germans were mad about? Inflation! Hitler gathered their hate together and focused it on immigrants, LGBTQ+, Polish, and disabled. Sound familiar? That's why it ticks me off that when Harris was confronted, like, do you really think, like, you know, and other key figures that are trying to speak out against Donald, and they say, like a Piers Morgan, you really think that he's like Hitler? Yeah. Yes! 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 That's exactly what Donald is doing. He's playing the same old tried and true method to destroy a republic while raiding the treasury through Elon. Stop giving Elon credit. Elon is a demon. Donald is Satan. And like I said before, the greatest trick the devil's ever pulled is convincing the world it doesn't exist. If you are the big villainous boss, you have goons do the bidding for you. Gosh, y'all, come on. So Dems, let's unite and fight for our country while we still got one. And I don't think we're going to have one much longer, y'all. Any election, we need to show up strong to make sure we vote these Satanists out of power. We also need to get the record straight. Anytime we encounter some MAGA, maggot, and MAGA moron nonsense. Oh, we don't want to get uncomfortable? Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be very uncomfortable when we don't have civil rights or religious rights anymore. When we're in concentration camps because of the way we vote or the way we look and can't buy or sell unless we live, love, and worship the way MAGA says. Let's see how uncomfortable we are then.